In 1849, a huge influx of Chinese immigrants trying to escape from poverty and conflict in Guangdong came to San Francisco when gold had been discovered in the Sierra Nevadas. But there were high foreigner tariffs that drove many Chinese immigrants to work for the Transcontinental Railroad that ran from San Francisco to Chicago. The completion of the railroad, however, would become the starting point for the Chinese Americans' troubles. Then Senator of California John Franklin Miller was an ardent supporter of limiting the influx of Chinese immigration. This is what became known as the Yellow Peril, a series of racist propaganda and hate crimes against the Chinese. Out of all the events that occurred against the Chinese Americans, no event stands out more than the Chinese Massacre of 1871. History has all but forgotten this event due to government censorship and paranoia that people would move away from the epicenter of Los Angeles. The event was sparked over a Chinese gang killing a police officer during a standoff. This culminated in a mob lynching of 17 to 20 Chinese in the streets of Los Angeles. The state government and newspapers may have been able to censor the event, but the Chinese Americans never forget what happened that fateful day, and only until the last decade has the event been analyzed by contemporary historians. But despite this lack of media coverage, we as a country can thank a Chinese man for the Birthright Citizenship clause of the U.S. Constitution. Won Kim Ark was a Chinese American cook who had been denied entry back into the country following a vacation overseas. He sued the government for what was blatant discrimination, and he managed to secure his American citizenship, but still had to carry around his birth certificate to get back into the country. This landmark case later fell into obscurity, and only from a recent discovery by his granddaughter did it once again see the light of day. Nowadays, discrimination has largely died down, but is still around to an extent that I'd rather not have. For example, as of just this year, Harvard University is embroiled in a lawsuit over racist admissions processes against Asian Americans. There is no definitive cause for any of the discrimination that occurred throughout history, but a key factor is ethnocentric opinions of American society. Ethnocentrism is an anthropological concept in which people view societies other than their own as inferior and subpar. It's thanks to organizations like the China-America Association that we have a powerful weapon to attempt to bridge this gap by allowing for a mutual exchange of culture. This metaphoric bridge is still under construction, but when it's completed, will finally allow for Chinese Americans to have their voices heard.